Hello everybody, I am Hoardergamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I hope you're all doing well. We've got comic books, otherwise the title would be a lie. It couldn't be Hoarder's Comic Flex if comic books were not involved at all. So we're going to have some reviews of comics. We're going to look at the very near future of comics all the way to 1 week from today. I did a different inflection there. I don't know if I like that. a little bit of a different inflection. Also, over towards my... Hold on. That way. Over that way, you'll notice some pictures, and they look kind of vague. Those would be about Diablo 4. So we'll be talking about video games too. Really just 2 video games this week. There's not too much to talk about. Maybe a third. What's funny is, when I advertised this episode, I said we were reviewing Green Lantern 1, and we are. But usually what I'll do with the advertisement is, have it be like, yes, there'll be at least 1 review, maybe 2. I always strive for 2. I forgot that the other review is another huge heavy hitter. So I could have said both of these in the ad instead of just one of them. So we're doing an unknown comic book as our first review. Amazing Spider-Man. I forgot it came out today. Amazing Spider-Man number 25. And the title is Whatever Happened to Mary Jane. Now, the base cover, this is actually a variant cover, which I really like the artwork of. But the base cover has that question and shows Mary Jane in a mostly red cover. I'm a little let down because you could see it coming from like a mile away. Like if you read the first issue of this run, this is issue 25, if you read issue 1, you could have been like, oh, I could see it totally going this way, and it does. Like, it wasn't a big shocker and surprise. The big bad was a huge shocker and surprise, like out of left field. And the elements of that the story took to tell the story because of that big bad were very cool. Okay? But like, as I got to the reveal of this issue 25, I was like, oh, there's still some more pages. Maybe something else happens. And kind of some, I guess you could say, negative character building for Peter Parker. Okay. So the entire book is basically the minutes, days, weeks, months, and years after Peter tries to save MJ and a scientist from an enemy known as, I believe it's Rabin. And Rabin is basically an insane mathematician who found a way to commune with a god. And I believe the god's name is Wayep. W-A-Y-E-P, if that is important. And, yeah, I never saw that coming. I never was like, oh, it's going to be this real minor character from the past, this crazy mathematician. No, I didn't think that. So basically what happens is Peter tries to save the scientist and Mary Jane, and by doing so, he has to basically go back to his own timeline or his own into the past. I'm not exactly sure if it was an alternate timeline. I think it's more like past and future. But anyway, has to go back, and now we're with Mary Jane and the scientist, and they get closer and closer after all this time. So they're actually end up to be husband and wife. And they end up finding kids in the rubble of what's left in this future world, and they basically, for all intents and purposes, adopt these kids. So Mary Jane has 2 kids and a husband now. And basically, Peter finds out what is going to become of the relationship he had with Mary Jane. And there are certain things I don't want to say. I will say, though, that now Peter looks like he's on a road towards self-destruction. And he even picks a fight with the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four wants their fusion generator back, and Peter needed that in order to save Mary Jane and defeat Rabin. But I expected like something seismic and crazy that wasn't even hinted at in the first 24 issues. That's where I thought we were going. I will say this, though. Rabin basically lets himself get killed and now wants to do a ritual that involves the death of the Scarlet Woman, who's Mary Jane. So we do have that. We do have this crazed mathematician who's basically like back from the dead, partially part god, and is trying to kill Mary Jane at some point. So there is that. That's interesting. But as to like, you know, everyone was guessing like certain character would actually die in this issue, or like some sort of massive status quo change. And yeah, there is one, but it's been hinted at for many issues now. So yeah, it's not bad. I just felt a little bit let down by it. I think overall it's a good run. 25 issues so far. There's an ad for issue 26. And like Amazing Spider-Man's like every 2 weeks. So you really have to be into the character to be getting Amazing Spider-Man constantly. So plus Dan Slott is doing the actual just Spider-Man book, and I want to say that's up to issue, I want to say 7 or 8. So that's like 3 Spider-Man books a month if you're a big Spidey fan. That's not even including Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, any of those other Spider-Man books. But yeah, I didn't dislike it. I was just a little let down. It definitely seems like just at like the end of issue 1, he's going to end up, or it was the end of issue 1 or issue 2, he ends up basically getting consoled by Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. So it seems like that is probably going to go and happen again. Another little short Spider-Man story happens where Black Cat and Spidey go to some dance. I think they're chaperoning it or something. I'm not exactly sure. Too many Spider-Man. Many Spider-Men, Mike. There are many. In fact, we will see in June in an animated film just how many Spider-Men there are. And Spider-Women. And Spider-Robots. And Spider-Everything. Spider Island, Spider Jerusalem. That's actually a character from a DC comic, Transmetropolitan. He's a reporter. But I was on a spider roll right there, so I needed to say that name too. Okay, everybody, that's our first review. Now, we're going to get into some games, okay? First off, today, the devs of Diablo 4 had a presentation. It was about an hour. Now, do not freak out over this picture. I don't want everyone losing their minds. I want you to look at the beauty that is on the left-hand side. The frightening, freaky, super detailed outfit that you can change the color of because you can use dyes that you find in game. And then the one that's in the shop. So, the game is going to have a lot of cosmetics you can earn just by playing it. And I absolutely love the one on the left. I think the right one is cool too, don't get me wrong. But I really like the fact that the armor is not going to be like lesser or you know, weak looking compared to the stuff you purchase in shop. The in shop is going to be basically more laser focused on specific elements of things in that world. So, but yeah, this gives you an idea. There will be cosmetics available in the shop, just like Fortnite has, just like Marvel's Avengers had, just like Destiny has. But there's also going to be awesome looks that you can get in-game. So I'm very happy about that. Let me remove this here. Next up, this is the Barbarian. Okay? Look at this craziness. So, again, the in-game look is pretty awesome. So what I wanted to get across here is that they didn't skimp and just do half-ass work on the in-game cosmetics, and then anything decent looking is in the shop. That's not at all what they did here. Things are a little bit more unique, I guess, in the shop, but I actually, again, love this look that's on the left. A hell of a lot of detail, a lot of reflective surfaces. I think it looks really good. But yeah, just to let you know that yes, there is a shop, but in game you're going to be able to basically earn a lot of awesome cosmetics as well. There are a total of 4 of these different pictures depicting the different classes and the different options you have. Plus, the shop will be specialized, which is very interesting. Everyone's shop experience will be a little bit different. I would not go so far as to use the term bespoke, which became a very popular term with the TV show Westworld. After season 1 of Westworld aired, it was like everywhere you turned, the word bespoke was used. It's true. I'm not making that up. Everywhere. I almost never heard this term. I knew what it was before Westworld, but like I heard it very rarely. And once Westworld happened, everything was bespoke. So, the idea is, though, if you're playing like a rogue, if you're playing a necromancer, if you're playing a druid, you're going to see those looks. It's going to alert you as to there's new druid stuff, there's new necromancer stuff. You can easily look at all the stuff, including, like, let's say you wanted to play a rogue but you never did before. You can get an idea of like what armor is available in the shop by just choosing that. But it's actually going to kind of cater to the character classes that you're playing, which I thought was neat. Okay, let me remove this here. Next up, and don't freak out, this is during the presentation that said top secret. I don't actually have top secret information here. There's certain info about the season that they did not want revealed until after the game launches. So after like June 6th. Early access the evening of June 1st in certain countries. June 2nd in all the other ones. Okay, so take a look at this. Now, if you notice, there's free items. There's a free track, basically. You don't have to buy the battle pass, but the battle pass will be $10 US dollars, and it's every 3 months if you want to get the battle pass. And there are 90 levels to the battle pass, and I think just under 40 or so are available on the free track. So you've got these cosmetics, plus you've got these things called ashes. Ashes are a season currency that are going to be used in another picture I'm about to show you. I will kind of explain that. Okay? But like you see, these other cosmetics, and they are only cosmetics. You cannot purchase power in Diablo 4. One of the biggest things that they wanted in Diablo 4 was not that you could purchase power. That's why the things that actually give you power are on the free track. And that has to do with the ashes. Okay? Now, there's the word right there, blessings. Okay? So now we're going to look at the next picture. It's like I'm running an old school slideshow. It's fun, but it's just crazy to me. Okay, everybody. Here we go. Season blessings. So, on the free track of the season, you don't pay for these, you will get ashes. And the ashes are put into the urns, and at least on these, there's 4 levels for each of these urns that you can see, and they give you a benefit or buff for the season. So like you see, a boost for XP earned from monster kills. Let's see here. Boosting the amount of gold. Boost of a chance of rare items, I believe it says. And boost to the length of how long an elixir will work for you. Okay? Again, those are all on the free track of the season. That stuff that involves like actual buffs and power, that's on the free track. You just have to put time into the season playing the game. You don't actually have to purchase the season to get those things. Okay. Let me remove that. And finally, this gives you a taste of seasonal objectives. Now, one thing that's awesome, and a lot of people are really happy about, you don't have to do all of them. Like, you'll get, like, something that'll say, like, do 7 of 9, do 6 of 8, so you can decide what you want to do and actually chart your own path each season. This is similar to Fortnite, where after a long time of Fortnite being out there, they had it where, okay, you can just go around and do all sorts of little side missions, collecting things and stuff like that. You don't have to focus so much on all the kills of enemies. And you'll still get some experience. Okay, so Chapter 1, you have the Hangman's Garden. Collect Gallow Vine. So Gallow Vine is a type of plant, and it's used in elixirs. So you can find that just about anywhere on the in the first chapter of the game. I found quite a bit of it actually, and there's like I think some sort of blueberry, gallow vine, and like 1 or 2 other items that you find, like herbs or vegetables, or I'm sorry, herbs or plants. Then we have the Den of Evil, which is actually a callback to Diablo 2. So, complete any dungeon. And for this one, it's any dungeon. And then Trouble in the Wilds. Complete a local event. Into the Frozen Dark. Complete dungeons into Fractured Peaks. So, the specific section of Fractured Peaks, you have to complete dungeons. Let me see how many. It doesn't say how many, but it might just be 1. And then if you notice, you get O-balls. And some other items that are actually rewards for doing this chapter. There's a total of 8 chapters, and if it's like Diablo 3, then basically the first 4 chapters are going to be somewhat challenging but not super difficult, and then 6 through 8 are going to be pretty damn brutal and take a lot of time and effort. So, to give you an idea, I've done about 5 or 6 of the seasons for Diablo 3. And I have always gotten through chapters 1 through 4 and got a few things in like 5 and 6. Almost nothing in 7 and 8. Just to give you an idea. So if it's that same level of challenge or difficulty, I expect that most people just kind of do chapters 1 through 4 for the season. Now, it could be different. It might run differently this time. and may not be so incredibly difficult once you get past Chapter 4. Again, these are the chapter rewards for this specific chapter, Chapter 1. Now, with Diablo 3, the way that worked is it was basic rewards like cosmetics, like I think you got a pennant or you possibly got a pet, something like that from like the first chapter, I think. And then Chapter 2 was set armor, 2 pieces of set armor. And then when you went through chapters 2, 3, and 4, you ended up with a whole set armor set of 6 pieces. Set armor is not a thing in Diablo 4, at least not at launch. So that's going to work a little bit differently. But I do expect that with chapters 2, 3, and 4, it'll probably be better rewards than chapter 1. Okay, let me remove this here. And if anyone has any questions on Diablo 4, I'd be happy to try to answer them. I can say that the server slam is Friday. It starts at 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific. So noon Pacific time or 2 p.m. Central time for the server slam. And what that's going to be is kind of sort of like the beta was, except it's more about getting as many people as possible to play the game and kind of like overload the servers. So it might be a bit rocky, especially in the beginning. I don't really know if they're going to have as many players as they did for the other betas, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. Word of mouth, though, may have gotten more people interested, but I don't necessarily know that that means that everyone that played the beta for both weekends is going to be playing as well. So, you can get up to level 20 into this server slam. You can play any of the 5 classes, and if you defeat a Shava when you're at level 20, and you do that with a group of 8 to 12 people, when you fight a Shava of a world boss and you defeat it, you get the Cry of a Shava, which is a awesome looking claw ripped from a Shava, but gilded in gold. So it's not like super gory. It's not like completely dripping in blood and stuff. It's gilded in gold, and it's a horse trophy. It mounts to the side of your horse. They also announced today that you'll get the horse, because someone asked this question. Your first, as they call them, horsey, you'll get your first horsey at around level 30 of the final game. So around level 30. And level 1 through 50 is basically like regular leveling, and 51 to 100 is endgame, and kind of partial sort of endgame, I guess you could say. And that involves, what do we call those? Paragon boards. That gives you better abilities and options and things like that. So, but yeah, so it starts on Friday at 2 p.m. Central, ends at 2 p.m. Central on Sunday, also known as Mother's Day, also known as Mothra's Day, and yes, also known as Blessed Mother Lilith's Day. So there you go. Quite a bit of information about Diablo 4, a game I'm very excited about, a game I plan to main, and I know a number of members of Doom Squad Gaming are looking forward to it. I'm going to be playing with some Doom Squad members myself on Saturday. I don't quite know if I'm able to say who yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Otherwise, I would say who. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. I myself, I'll be streaming it on Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm Diablo excited. Let's see. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom comes out on Friday. And hopefully reviews come out tomorrow. I thought they would have come out today. I'm actually a little surprised that they haven't. I don't think that means anything bad necessarily because it's Nintendo. I cannot see them screwing up one of their flagships. Can you recall any Nintendo-made Mario game being terrible? I can't. Like, you could definitely have a conversation, what's the better Mario game, or, you know, certain missteps in Mario titles, but I don't know of anyone who thinks there's a truly terrible Nintendo Mario game. So I don't expect them to screw up Tears of the Kingdom. For some reason, pre-orders for the collector's edition are usually seem to be arriving Monday, at least from Amazon. So I don't know why that's not available Friday, and I'm wondering if that's going to be an issue at other places too, because it was with Super Metroid. The date got pushed back, and then the date got pushed back, I think, at other locations. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Also, real minor information. That's why I didn't bring it up in the very beginning of this episode. Star Wars Jedi Survivor got patched, I think it's 1.04, and it had some changes, I think mostly to PC. It doesn't quite give us the 60 FPS we would like without ray tracing on console. I know a lot of people are hoping for that, and I hope it's a possibility to make it happen. Mike, I don't know anyone who hated Super Mario Brothers 2. I don't know anyone that hated that. I thought it was really good. I remember finally getting a copy when I was a kid, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. I first got to play it at a friend's house. Because if you don't remember, everybody, Mario 2 and 3 were kind of hard to come by. Certain NES cartridges were hard to come by. Like, you had to, call the store daily. People were selling Super Mario Bros. 3 for $75 and $100. Now, Kohl's always had higher prices. Kohl's department stores. So they were always $60 with even NES games. But, the average stores, I believe Toys R Us, I think it was $49.99. For Super Mario Brothers 3. Super Mario 3. So charging $75 or $100 back in was that late 80s, early 90s is pretty crazy. Still one of the best games though. So, we are done with video gaming news, everyone. It's time for us to toy around. Now, we're not going to toy around as long as we usually do. I just got 2 picks here that I thought of cool things that are coming or are already available for pre-order. Hawkeye. Look at that. The old school outfit. The glider. I think it looks really good. I believe it's available now through... Pulse, HasbroPulse.com, as well as Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. If you decide to order any of these things through Entertainment Earth, it does support me, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I thought this looked really cool. I'm not even the biggest Hawkeye fan. I've said this openly many times, but this is neat. The figure is good. If you're a fan of Hawkeye, you probably enjoy this look a lot. The vehicle looks cool. They could have done a little more detail in the vehicle, but I think it's probably at a lower price because of not having a ton of detail on it. But I like it. And next up, right now that's thought to be in the $35 to $40 range. I don't have an exact price for it though, sorry. But this, I do have an exact price for. This is from Mondo, and Mondo has been doing these astounding 12-inch action figures. Okay? And they did Batman, and they did the Joker. Now here's Harley Quinn. This is completely nuts, okay? So, you've got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. You get 5 profiles, including Harleen Quinzel. Okay? So it's almost like you could make like stop motion animation with this figure. Not quite, but close. It's pretty amazing. You get Lou and Bud, the laughing hyenas. And in case you didn't know, trivia question here, Lou Costello and Bud Abbott. Abbott and Costello. So that's what the two hyenas are named after. Then they come with a bone, they come with a stake, they come with a bowl, a mallet, the Arkham Asylum Sane piece of paper, multiple hands for Harley, an arm. I think that's a mannequin arm. I think it's from a specific episode. The cool Joker scepter, I guess you would say. Bat cuffs, so Batman can actually arrest her if you happen to have the Batman Mondo. Perfume, which I believe is Joker Toxin. A purse. But yeah. Now, you can save a little bit of money, just a little bit, and get the version that doesn't have 3 of the portraits right there, Bud or Lou, the hyenas, or the steak, bone, or bowl. You're missing quite a bit for $15. So this version here with everything is $200. Again, this is a 12-inch figure with a ton of accessories, a lot of detail, so that's why it's so much. So this is actually directly from Mondo, and usually when they have pre-orders open, it's about a week. So I believe it's next week this pre-order ends, and this is $200 for the basically the collectors or the deluxe edition. Okay, or exclusive. It might be the exclusive Mondo edition. But the version without those other items is $185. So like, I mean, if you're going to drop $185, I'm pretty sure you're going to drop $200 and get all those other portraits. A lot of people have said the portraits and just Lou and Bud are worth it. Some people even went so far as to say Lou and Bud. That right there. But yeah, only a $15 difference for Harley Quinn. And I think it's a great looking figure. I don't do a lot in the 12-inch scale just due to cost. If Mondo started doing 6-inch scale, that would be neat. But I don't expect that anytime soon. But yeah, this looks really good. And also the Batman and Joker looked great too. All of them look awesome. They haven't screwed up any of these yet. They also have done, Mondo has done some X-Men figures, which are really good too. And everybody, when I said just a couple toys, I was literal. Just 2 this week. But I think they're both really good. I absolutely love the Harley figure. I think that's really nice. Now, we're going to look into the near future of comics all the way to 1 week from today. So, usually I try to have a lot of books that aren't DC or Marvel, also known as the Big Two. But this next week is very robust with a lot of very interesting offers from the Big Two. So, here we go. Ram V's new superhero book, The Vigil. Now, there was, I want to say, a 6 to 8 page story of The Vigil that was part of the Lazarus Planet series of books that came out. And it was very cool. It involved Red Hood and I believe Nightwing as well. No, actually, no, I'm sorry. I think that's separate. It involved Red Hood and this interesting and unique group of superheroes trying to stop somebody from getting something. So I thought it was cool. It was very enigmatic. But Ram V is currently one of my favorite writers. He's doing Batman, Detective Comics. He's doing the Gothic story arc. He is doing. He was on Venom. I think he left Venom. He did this awesome Aquaman Black Label series that was really great. He's really good. Ram V's really good. And I love this alternate cover. This is actually a variant, and I think it looks super cool. But yeah, Vigil 1 I'm looking forward to, and that comes out next week. And also it celebrates Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. And I believe the idea is that they are a team of superheroes from India. But yeah, I like the 6 to 8 pages I read. Thought it was really neat. And I'm very excited for this. Next up. This one's a little bit more pricey, everybody. Okay, I apologize. I thought that was a different book. Okay, but I at least know about the book we're going to talk about. Batman the Brave and the Bold. So there's a new anthology series, I believe it is, Batman the Brave and the Bold. I say believe because it's a little confusing. The issues are $7.99 a piece. And as far as I know, it's not Black Label. It's like a regular comic, but there's more to it. It's going to be like 4 chapters about Batman facing off against the Joker. Like a retelling of that. And I believe it's by Tom King. And then there's other writers and artists doing Batman-related stories with different heroes and villains. And it's $7.99. It's part of Dawn of DC. And it's Batman Brave and the Bold. So, yeah. So I'm expecting it to be probably about 48 pages an issue, if not bigger. And it's because it's gonna be like $7.99 an issue. So, by the way, this is the Mark Waid, Dan Mora series right here, Batman Superman World's Finest. That is also awesome. Very good book. I've talked about that one before, though. Cyborg. Cyborg #1. Another Dawn of DC book. Dawn of DC is about basically reestablishing characters starting with an issue 1 and like bringing people into the fold for characters they may not know that well or characters they're excited to get into. So there's a really good chance I'll review Cyborg #1 because I know very little about the character except high school football player, terrible accident, turned into a cyborg. Like I know very little. I know he's in the Justice League movie, but I'm talking about like the actual comic book and the information there. So I am interested in Cyborg 1. I'll definitely pick it up, and there's a good chance I will review it. And finally, well, actually, there's another thing, but that'll be real brief. Guardians of the Galaxy #2. This is from the awesome team that is writing the Star Trek comic book for IDW. The Star Trek one with Benjamin Sisko and Data, and it's a really great series. It's really good. It's like a mystery that's opening up type of thing. It's super cool. And they are also writing Guardians of the Galaxy. Issue 1 had a threat coming to a planet, and the Guardians had to evacuate everybody before that threat arrived. That threat turned out to be Grootfall. This massive, frightening version of Groot, basically trying to crash into the planet. And we have no information as to how or why yet. I'm very looking to find out, though. Guardians of the Galaxy is really good. For a long time, it's been a quality title. Donny Cates worked on it. I think Al Ewing worked on it. I know Jerry Dugan worked on it. But yeah, this is a really good time to jump on. especially if you enjoy the James Gunn films, of which I'll actually be seeing Guardians Volume 3 again tomorrow. I thought it was awesome. I saw it first last week, and I'm seeing it with another friend tomorrow. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, really good and an excellent time to jump on. Okay, everybody. Do we have any questions and or suggestions of upcoming shows? Any clarifications anyone needs on Diablo 4 or the server slam or anything? Okay, everybody. It looks like everyone's good with all that. Again, feel free to put any of those questions into comments or in chat if you're watching it live, or, you know, comments, like I said, if you're watching it at your leisure. Next week, another episode. It's going to be again at 8 p.m. Central. And let's see. Really good chance of Cyborg 1 review. I'd say a really strong chance of that. That one really stood out to me. While I would like to avoid doing 2 DC titles, there's a good chance it would be Vigil 1 and Cyborg 1. Real strong chance of that, actually. And there's a strong chance that if you're on twitch.tv/Hoardergamer, at certain times, I'll be on. And I'll be playing... currently, I'm doing a lot of Diablo 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is phenomenal. Whether you're a big action fan of something like Uncharted, or you're a huge fan of Star Wars, it's really good. Jedi Survivor took like everything great in Jedi Fallen Order and ran with it. Some technical hiccups here and there, but they're doing patches. And it's not like a nightmare situation, I think. I know there were some serious issues with PC, but I know in console it's pretty solid, except for the frame rate. Yeah, except for the frame rate. Let's see here. I think that's about everything. Yeah, I think I said twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. Also, this weekend I'll be streaming a lot of Diablo 4 Server Slam. I currently plan on playing the Sorcerer. That's the class I think I'm going to do as Sorcerer. I was going to do Druid, but apparently Druid isn't great until you get to Act 2 or Act 3 in the final game, where you get certain spirits based on animals that alter your character. So I would rather play a class that's a little bit more, you know, what you see is what you get, than certain things I don't get, so I get a bad taste in my mouth from playing that class. Also, keep in mind that there are a number of changes that were made after the betas. So those are already going to be in the Server Slam version of the game. You can currently download the Server Slam. If it's as big as the beta, it's about 80 gigabytes. On PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. That's available to pre-download right now. So, and again, that's free to play for that 48 hours. So you don't have to pre-order, you don't have to purchase in order to do the Server Slam. So, everybody, I want to thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this weekend you'll watch a number of Doom Squad gaming members playing some, getting their Diablo 4 on. We're gonna serve up some slam. Hopefully. But yeah, everybody, thank you very much for watching Hoarder's Comic Flex. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.